Good morning students, I am Kishan Kumar, your physics teacher. Today we will study our chapter 11, that is thermal properties of matter in +1 physics. In this chapter the main topic which are going to discuss are temperature and heat. Means what do you mean by temperature and what do you mean by heat. Then there is an ideal gas equation that is generally known as simple gas equation, that is equal to Pn is equal to RT, that we have to study. Then our thermal expansion means when we heat any object then it will expand. Why it expand, how much it expand, we have to study that. Then specific heat, it is the amount of heat that is absorbed by any material, any object, we will study this also. Then calorimeter, it is an instrument which is used to find the specific value or the latent heat value of any material, object, or you can say liquid. Then we have to study change of matter, means when a matter changes position from solid to liquid or liquid to gas, then what are the changes occurs. Then heat transfer, means how heat is transferred from one place to another place, one object to another object. Then last topic is Newton's law of cooling, means when an object cools its temperature lower down, then which are the parameters which affect the Newton's law of cooling. So these are the topics we have to study in this chapter, that is thermal properties of matter. So let's start our chapter. First is heat. What do you mean by heat? As we know that heat is also a type of energy. It is also a form of energy which produce in us sensation of warmth. यानी कि अगर कोई आपकी ऑब्जेक्ट हीट अप है then it will feel like a warmth sensation. It is due to the kinetic energy of molecule. It is due to the kinetic energy of the molecule, means it is due to the thermal energy which we produced or which we give in a object, because thermal energy always produced kinetic energy in the molecule. Next definition is temperature. This is simply how we can measure the heat produced by an object. It is with the help of temperature. So temperature is nothing but the degree of hotness of a body. Degree of hotness of a body. We cannot differentiate by simply saying this is less hot, this is more hot. We can differentiate it with the help of temperature. So temperature is nothing but the degree of hotness of an object. Heat always flow from higher temperature to lower temperature object. This is simply very simple, that heat always flow from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object. Then scales of temperature, means now we have to measure the temperature of any body, then there must be some scale that can be used to measure the temperature of an object. There are mainly three main scale. First is Celsius scale. Celsius scale means a scale on which the melting point of ice is at 0 degree centigrade and boiling point of water is at 100 degree centigrade. These are the reference point for any scale of temperature. Second is Fahrenheit scale. In this case, the melting point of ice is taken as 32 degree Fahrenheit and boiling point taken as 212 degree Fahrenheit. Third is the Reaumur scale. In this, the melting point of ice is taken as 0 degree Reaumur and boiling point of water is taken as 80 degree Reaumur. These are the references point that are taken from the ice melting or the water boiling point. This is the relationship between all three scales of temperature. That is, if you have given Celsius, then you can find out Fahrenheit or you can find out your Reaumur scale. So this is the relationship, and how it can be remembered, simply C, that is Celsius minus its lower value divided by upper value minus lower value. Similarly for the Fahrenheit, F minus lower value, higher value minus lower value. Similarly for this. So this is a simple relationship, that how we can remember it. So these are its reference pointers. Next is thermal expansion. Means if we give heat or if any body get heat in the form of temperature, then it shows some expansion that we have to study now. So it is only due to the interatomic separation. Means when atoms get energy due to temperature, they start vibrating, and due to that vibration the space between them increase. So that is known as interatomic separation, increase due to temperature. That is the main cause of thermal expansion. Next is type of thermal expansion. There are three types of thermal expansion, means lengthwise, area wise and volume wise. First we will study linear expansion. Linear expansion means the increase in length. L dash is your final length, L is your original length. So L dash minus L is the increase in length. It is directly proportional to original length and also directly proportional to the change in temperature. So if we combine all these parameters, so it will become L dash proportional to L delta T, and proportionality sign can be removed by taking a constant, that is alpha. Alpha is nothing but the coefficient of linear expansion. Its value depend upon the object that is to be expanded. So simply L dash, L can be taken on that side. So this will become final length of any object after giving some temperature to it. If we take L common, then it will come out L dash is equal to L bracket 1 plus alpha delta T. Second is superficial. This is nothing but the expansion in area. So if X dash is the final area, S is the original area, then change in area, that is S dash minus S. This is similar to previous. It is proportional to initial area and directly proportional to change in temperature. And if we combine and remove the sign of proportionality, then we can use a constant, and here is constant is beta. So S dash minus S is equal to beta S delta T. So we can find S dash from this equation. Now as we know that beta is nothing but the coefficient of superficial expression. Here this is also depend on the type of material. Now next is the cubical expansion. Cubical expansion is again, it is the increase in volume of any object due to rise in temperature. So the increase in volume is proportional to volume and directly proportional to the change in temperature. So this can be also written as V dash minus V is equal to gamma. This is another constant, and that is known as coefficient of cubical expansion. So gamma is equal to V dash minus V is equal to gamma V delta T. From here we can easily find out the final volume of any object. Here one thing is to be remembered that alpha, beta and gamma are fixed value only above a certain temperature, and that temperature is 500 Kelvin. Below this temperature, alpha, beta, gamma may vary. These are constant but may vary. So its value become constant only after 500 degree Kelvin. Next is thermal expansion on the basis of intermolecular forces. Means how we can understand that how expansion is occurred in any object. So this can be studied by simply a graph. This is the graph between potential energy and your interatomic space between the atoms. So we can see that the potential energy vary according to this graph. This graph shows the potential energy with respect to interatomic separation. Here the minimum potential energy is when there is the minimum distance between the atoms, and that can be considered as R naught. So R naught is the minimum difference, and it is at the 0 Kelvin. And it is at the 0 Kelvin means there is no thermal heat in the substance. As we increase the temperature, due to their random motion, particles start moving. But due to the asymmetrical shape of this graph, look at here, due to asymmetrical shape of this graph, we can say that your separation between atom is not on this point, this is somewhat greater than this point. So, we can say that at temperature T1 the exact value is not this, the exact separation is up to this point, that is P dash. And if again we increase the temperature at any temperature T2, again its interatomic separation increased up to point P. So, we can say that this is not the reference line. For the reference value, that is for the average interatomic separation, we can use this equation, that is R minimum plus R maximum and divided by 2. So, it is the average of minimum and maximum separation. This is the minimum separation and this is the maximum separation from the reference point. So, we have to take average of this is the average. Again we have to take average of this and this and average of this will come at point this. So, in this way we can say that any material expands when it get energy in the form of temperature. A very important graph sometime or many times asked in the exam. Next, relation between alpha, beta and gamma. So, we can simply derive a relationship between alpha, beta and gamma. So, what we have to assume that suppose there is a cube of length L, then its volume simply will be L cube, and if we increase its temperature by delta T, then simply the increase in length is given by L dash minus L is equal to alpha L delta T. This we have derived earlier. Next, we can simply find L dash means final length. Now, we can take common L from here. So, after volume increase, after increase in temperature, volume will also increase. Okay, the increase in volume is given by L dash cube. Simply, this is the formula of volume, that is L into L into L. So, it become L cube, L dash cube. So, we have to find this is L dash, this is simply L dash, this one. So, we have to take cube of this. So, this is L plus 1 plus alpha delta T का whole cube हमें करना है अभी. Okay, so we can take common L cube from here. L cube can be taken common, then remaining is 1 plus alpha delta T, 1 plus alpha delta T. Now, we have to take simple its cube, and you know very well the formula A cube plus B cube plus 3AB plus 3A square B square, that I have done here. Simply 1 plus alpha cube delta cube 3 alpha delta and 3 alpha square delta T square. Now, I simply open this bracket, so this will come out. Now, after this I am simply replacing L cube by volume, that is V, initial volume. So, L cube is simply replaced by V. Now, we can see that here there is a alpha square and alpha cube also, but you know alpha, the value of alpha varies 10 to the power minus 5, very less value has alpha. Alpha has very less value. So, simply we can simply neglect L square and L cube. So, by neglecting this parameter, this will remain. Okay, so let us see next slide. Yes, V dash will be V plus V 3 alpha delta T. If we take this V on this side, then this is the final expression. Now, as we know that according to definition, V dash minus V is nothing but gamma V delta T. So, after comparing these two equations, this and this, we can simply write gamma V delta T is equal to V 3 alpha delta T. So, from here we can simply say that gamma is equal to 3 alpha. In the same way, we can also explain that beta is equal to 2 alpha. So, we can say that there is a relationship between alpha, beta, gamma, and it is given by alpha by 1 is equal to beta by 2 is equal to gamma by 3. This is a simple procedure how we can learn it, alpha by 1, beta by 1, and that is equal to gamma by 3. Now, there are some practical applications of thermal expansion where we can use this phenomena. So, first is gaps in the railway iron rails. We have seen that in the railway track there is a simple gap between the roads, that is only due to the thermal expansion. If in the summer time it will expand, then there should be a space between them so that it can easily expand, no change in its shape occurs and no problem occur at that point. Next is the space between the girders in the bridges. When bridges are made, then there is also some space left to expand the material there in the summer time. Next is iron rim first heated, then it is put on the wheel, and after it's cooled down, it fixed over the wheels. Next is pendulum clock differ in time, because the length of pendulum increase with the temperature, so it will show some different time than the actual time. Glass stoppers jam. If there is a glass lid on, if a glass bottle is there and if it has a lid and it is jammed, it's not opening, then you can simply open it by giving some temperature to it or simply by warming it. Next is expansion of liquid. Now, these that we have studied now, these are the expansion in the solid. Now, we have to read, we have to study expansion of a liquid. As liquid had two type of expansion. One is your apparent expansion and second is your real expansion. Now, what is apparent and real? Apparent means as liquid always for liquid there should always a container. So, if we heat up, then container size will also increase and liquid size will also increase. So, apparent means that we can observe and real means that is actually happening. So, coefficient of apparent expansion, that is nothing but the gamma A is equal to apparent increase in volume, means this is apparent increase volume per unit original volume and rise in temperature. This formula is come out by simply that we have studied in previous slide, that is our linear expansion, superficial expansion and the volumetric expansion. And real expansion is nothing but your real increase in volume divided by original volume and rise in temperature. Here you can see that there is a relationship between the real expansion and your apparent expansion and the expansion of your solid. So, to study the real expansion, you have to also study the expansion of your container with comparison to liquid. Both expansion should be considered in case of expansion of a liquid. Now, variation of density of solid and liquid with temperature means how density of any object changes when its temperature rises. So, simply we have studied that this is the increased volume of any object if its temperature raised by an amount of delta T. Here gamma is nothing but the coefficient of a cubical expansion. Now, simply as we know that density is mass per unit volume, and after increase in volume the density will remain rho dash is equal to m over v dash, as mass does not change, only volume can be changed as we increase the temperature. So, now from these two values I can simply find the volume initial and the volume final. Then by simply putting these values in this equation I get this equation. Now, mass can be cancelled out on both sides and simply by doing cross multiply I get this formula, that is rho dash is equal to rho divided by 1 plus gamma delta T. If I put this value in the above part, then this should have minus 1 power. And as we know that the gamma is a coefficient of expansion and its value is very low value. So, by binomial expansion only up to first point, we can simply write this equation into this way. The minus 1 power come in forward. So, it will become rho dash is equal to rho bracket 1 minus gamma delta T. Then specific heat. Specific heat is nothing but the amount of heat required. The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass by 1 degree centigrade, means you are increasing the temperature of an object by simple 1 degree centigrade for a unit mass of the object, then the amount of heat required is known as specific heat for that object. So, this is nothing but simply it is represented by small c, and it is given by the heat, amount of heat per unit mass and per unit rise in temperature. So, by cross multiplying with that, simply del Q means change in temperature or specific heat that is given is amount of heat given is mass specific heat into rise in temperature. And if we are considering for the molar specific heat, then the substance should be 1 mole. Now, quantity is specified. Actually, this was the per unit mass, but now this is 1 mole. So, quantity has been specified that we have to increase the temperature of 1 mole of a substance. It is represented by capital C. The difference is just in notation, it is small c and it is your capital C. Formula will be same, that is amount of heat per unit mole. Now, this is number of molecule in 1 mole and this is delta T, yani ki rise in temperature. By simply cross multiplying with that, we can get this value, that is amount of heat. Next is thermal capacity and water equivalent. These two topics we have to study before we study the calorimeter. Now, thermal capacity. Thermal capacity is nothing but it is the amount of heat required. It is the amount of heat required for any object to increase its temperature by a unit degree centigrade. Means we have to increase the temperature of any object by an amount of 1 degree centigrade, then the amount of heat required for any object, there is no quantity and no mass, then it is given by simply your thermal capacity. So, if we put that we have studied in last slide, in this slide, this one, delta T is equal to 1, then simply specific heat is given by del Q by M, and here del Q is M into C, M is the mass, if mass is given. Now, for specific heat, if we are using in the specific heat per mole, then it will simply can be written as capital C is equal to del Q by mu. Mu is the number of molecule in 1 mole. Now, simply by cross multiplying, I can get del Q means change in temperature, change in energy or change in heat is equal to capital C into mu. Now, water equivalent. It is used to study to compare an object which has the same tendency to accept the heat as accepted by the water. So, mass of the water, it is the mass of water which absorbs or emit the same amount of heat. It is the mass of water, it has mass, so its SI unit will also be kg. So, mass of the water which absorb or emit the same amount of heat as done by the given body, for the same rise or fall in temperature. Means if there is an object which gain temperature by getting some amount of heat, similarly for the water we have to take that amount of water, that mass, so that it also gets same energy and same increase in temperature. Next is latent heat, water equivalent is represented by W simply, and its SI unit is kg as we have discussed. Now, latent heat is nothing but it is the amount of heat required when an object change its state, means from solid to liquid, or you can say from liquid to vapor state. It is simply given by Q, that is amount of heat is equal to mass into latent heat of the object. L is a constant that depend upon the object or the your material. Next is principle of calorimeter. Means in this what we use, we simply mix up two object or you can say two liquid so that they may get if someone is at lower temperature it will gain energy, or if somewhat at high temperature then it will lose energy. So in this we simply use the basic principle of mixer, that is it used to measure the heat quantity. Heat quantity means we can measure specific heat or the latent heat of any object by making use of simple principle of mixture, and it is nothing but the heat loss is equal to heat gain. So now to find the specific quantities of the heat, we have to simply consider that. Let us consider a calorimeter. Let us consider a calorimeter whose water equivalent is W. Water equivalent is W. So W is nothing but the mass. Next, suppose water is at temperature T1 and its mass is M1. The quantity of mass is M1 and its temperature is T1. Then the solid, if there is any solid and which has temperature T2 and its mass is M2, then after mixing, the higher temperature will lose some energy and lower temperature object will gain some energy, and after the temperature will become uniform, and that's supposed to be T. Now simply by using the simple principle of mixture, that is heat gain is equal to heat loss. So first we have to calculate that. Let us C and C dash are the specific heat of solid and water. C is the specific heat of solid and C dash is the specific heat of water. Then heat gain by the water and calorimeter. We have assumed that the temperature of the object is higher than the temperature of calorimeter and water. So heat gain by the water and calorimeter, simply mass, specific heat and rise in temperature. So mass is now mass of calorimeter, that is water equivalent, plus mass of water, that is M1 plus omega. C dash specific heat of water, and this is the change in temperature. As T1 is lower than T, so I have written that T minus T dash. Now next is heat loss. Heat loss, simply the formula will remain same, mass of the solid, specific heat of the solid and change in temperature. Here T2 is greater than T, so I simply write T2 minus T. Now by simply comparing these two equations, I get the value of specific heat of solid. So if I know these parameters, I can simply find the specific heat of any object. And in this in the experiment, we have assumed that there is no loss of heat. Now to find the latent heat of vaporization. Vaporization means now we have to find the latent heat of water. So let us consider it. If heat gain by water and calorimeter means the heat which is gained by water and calorimeter is simply M1 plus W and C T minus T1. This we have to study in last slide also. Now heat loss by the vapor, there are two steps to heat loss. First, to change the state, and second, to change the temperature. So first we have to consider by changing the state. So in changing the state, we can simply write change or amount of heat is equal to mass into latent heat, and by cooling process, the amount of heat loss is simply given by Q is equal to M2C T2 minus T1. So these two should be added. These are the procedure by which heat is lost. Now heat gain is equal to heat loss. By simply comparing these two equations, I can simplify L, that is the latent heat of water in vaporization condition. So this is the first part of this chapter that we have studied, and in next chapter we will simply study our how heat energy transfer or flow.